Fraser to write and pass the family child care home expenses deductions based on time and space within the 1976 Tax Reform Act. When the IRS responded by deciding to audit every daycare home in the 5-state area, I sat next to Senator Boschwitz, and Marian sat next to the commissioner of the IRS when the senator called him on the carpet here in Minnesota in December. And he didn't obey right away, so he threatened to call him back in February, and he gave in. She was the main provider who saved all 17,000 licensed family daycare homes from being closed by fire marshals enforcing the National Life Safety Code. Marian was prime mover getting the legislature to reclassify daycare homes from E3 to R2 occupancies. Your children played a key critical role in the epic defeat of the building inspectors before a rare joint commission of the legislature. And I'd be happy to tell you that story. It truly is dramatic, and it's something where we did a parliamentary maneuver that could only be done by children. Yep. And we blew them out of the water. The building inspectors were sitting there whispering to each other. They were just stunned. She got the standard of evidence for accused foster care parents and child care providers changed from credible evidence to preponderance of evidence, working with a retired judge, lawyers, parents, and foster care providers. She founded the Coalition on Provider Vulnerability, and for many years took phone calls from all over the United States from sobbing, hysterical child care providers whose lives had been destroyed. Marian founded and often hosted the Family Daycare radio show, which played on KFAI for 20 years, unique in the USA. Marian shared the United Way Volunteer of the Year Award for her work on the Family Daycare radio show. Marian and my sister Deb kept the daycare going beautifully and themselves laid a new cement front walk, while Michael enjoyed some time off as the only family child care provider to be a Bush Leadership Fellow. Again, that was due to our parents. They made that happen. Marian and I traveled to England to present slideshows and trainings about American family child care to British government officials, British childminders, and daycare centers. One of the daycare families paid for Marian's ticket. Marian and Michael, and especially your children, does anybody have some water? I need a cup of water, or a bottle, or something. Oh, good. Thank you. Marian and Michael, and especially your children, saved wading pools for family daycare homes after the Minnesota Health Department banned them. The tiny pools were banned because black child care providers supposedly would not clean their pools.
Oh, what?
That was the supervisor of the Minneapolis Health Department. She called me and she said, "You guys are making a mistake. I know you have all this political clout and people listen to you, but you're making a mistake. The black child care providers in North Minneapolis won't dump out their pools when a kid poops in the pools." And I so wished that I had that, a tape recording going of that, so that I could have played it back a few times on our radio show. As an expert in Robert's Rules of Orders, Marian was the calm and gentle person who people called on to chair their most contentious childcare meetings. When she didn't want to be the president of something or the vice president anymore, and when she was spending more time in the daycare, she would get phone calls and people would say, "Will you come and chair our next meeting?" And then she would go and do that.
Okay, Michael, do you need a chair?
No, I'm okay. Thank you. At least I think I'm okay. Here, I'll stand back a little bit farther to ease the tension. She was greatly loved and now greatly missed. She was active to her last day. One of her legacy projects was to try to stop the Minnesota Department of Human Services from torturing babies by banning all normal, common, and safe methods of helping babies get the sleep they need to thrive. Her other legacy project was to stop DHS from wrongfully Fifth Amendment due process violations, destroying the lives of roughly 100 child care providers per year. Most of the senior providers believe that child care regulators are once again, right now, trying to close all the daycare homes. Over half of the homes are already closed. 3/4 of them are gone in Hennepin County, which has the most oppressive and violent policies. I will close with a passage from Marian's and my favorite book, The Lord of the Rings. Book 2, Chapter 2, Many Meetings. And some, yeah, thank you. Frodo had just shown his uncle Bilbo the great ring of power. The music and singing round them seemed to falter, and a silence fell. Bilbo looked quickly at Frodo's face and passed his hand across his eyes. "I understand now," he said. "Put it away. I am sorry. Sorry you have come in for this burden. Sorry about everything. Don't adventures ever have an end?" "I suppose not. Someone else always has to carry on the story. Well, it can't be helped. I wonder if it's any good trying to finish my book. But don't let's worry about it now. Let's have some real news. Tell me all about the Shire." And just a little bit more. I am not saying that the Minnesota Department of Human Services is Mordor, but a great power is rising in the east again, and you and your children are losing the freedom to attend the child care of your choice. I have some very modest and statesman-like petitions available for you to sign if you want to help. Totally without pressure or censure, I offer you the opportunity to look at the petitions on the clipboards. There has never been and never will again be a like concentration in one place of such noble, intelligent, and powerful parents in the history of Minnesota. Strike while the ire is hot. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you, Michael. I would like to finally thank the organizing committee. If you were on that, could you raise your hands? Thank you so much. And I think it is time to eat. Is that right? Yes, it's time to eat. Thank you.
Well, we got a sign if you I'm ready.